So you're a business owner and you're thinking about getting a roller security shutter. You get a quote. And then what? What really happens between that piece of paper and having a solid steel curtain protecting your business? Well, today we're going to pull back that curtain, literally, and walk through the entire 9-step journey to getting your place secured.
And that's the key thing right there, something a lot of people miss. This isn't like buying a toaster. You're not just picking something off a shelf. You're kicking off a custom construction project. It's tailored from the ground up, just for your building. And because of that, there's a really specific step-by-step process we have to follow.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it down. It's all about 3 big phases. First, we have definition and design. Then we move into verification and creation. And finally, execution and integration. And yeah, we'll also talk about where you fit into all this, because your role is super important too. Think of this as our roadmap, our game plan. It's a 3-act play, really. This structure is how we make sure nothing, and I mean nothing, gets missed. It's how we take an idea, I need a security shutter, and turn it into this solid, real-world piece of protection. So let's simplify it even more. Phase 1, that's the blueprint. It's all about planning and getting the details right. Phase 2 is the build. This is where the magic happens behind the scenes. And phase 3, that's the handoff, the big day when it gets installed, tested, and becomes part of your business. All right, let's dive into phase 1, definition and design. Honestly, you could argue this is the most critical part of the whole process. Why? Because getting this stage perfect is what saves you from headaches, unexpected costs, and delays later on. It's all about setting a solid foundation. And where does it all begin? Right there, at your location. This first step, the on-site walkthrough, is so much more than just a quick look-see. It's almost like a forensic investigation of the space. Remember, every single one of these shutters is made to order, so the building, your building, is the boss. It tells us exactly what we can and can't do. So what are we actually looking for? Well, a few key things. We're measuring the headroom. That's the space up top where the shutter coils up. Then there's the side room, for the guide rails it runs in. We've got to know what the wall is made of. Is it concrete, steel, wood? Because that tells us how to bolt this thing on securely. And of course, we're looking for anything that might get in the way. Signs, lights, you name it. It all boils down to that old saying, right? Measure twice, cut once. Or in our case, measure twice, install once. This whole step is about eliminating guesswork. We are designing a shutter for the reality of your storefront, not some vague idea of it. Okay, so once we have the lay of the land, we get to the fun part, step 2. This is where we start choosing the right shutter for you. This isn't us just telling you what you need. It's a conversation. We're figuring out what works for your day-to-day operations and what level of security you're aiming for. And you've got some big choices to make. For the shutter style itself, are you going for maximum security and privacy with solid slats? Or do you want people to see your cool merchandise even when you're closed with perforated slats? Then there's how it operates. Do you want the simple, cost-effective manual version? Or is the convenience of just pushing a button with a motorized system a better fit for you? All right, after we've got all those details ironed out, you'll get the proposal. And I really want to stress this. Don't just look at the number at the bottom. This document is so much more than a price tag. It's the entire project plan, laid out from A to Z. It breaks down every single part of the job. So what's actually in there? Well, it covers everything. That first site visit and all the technical planning, the custom engineering and the actual building of the shutter, the shipping to get it to you, the professional installation crew, and of course, the final testing and handoff. It's the whole shebang, all rolled into one. Okay, the proposal is approved. You give the green light. Now we enter phase 2. I like to call this the quiet phase, because while you're running your business as usual, a ton of work is happening behind the scenes. This is where the plan on paper starts to become a real physical thing. And the first thing we do in this phase is step 4, the final verification. Think of this as the point of no return. It is our last final chance to triple check every single detail before we hit go on manufacturing. And trust me, you want to get this right, because making changes after the factory starts cutting metal gets pricey. So what does that look like? It's a meticulous checklist. We're literally confirming final dimensions, locking in the mounting method, finalizing exactly where the motor goes and what kind of power it needs. Every little detail gets one last look to guarantee it's perfect. And with that final check complete, the build officially begins. This is where you really see the custom part in action. The individual slots are cut to the precise width of your opening.
The barrel is engineered to handle the exact weight of your shutter curtain. Everything is being made just for you. Now, this part takes time. It can be several weeks, but this is where all the value is created. It's where steel, aluminum, and motors are transformed from raw materials into a bespoke security system. It might be quiet, but it's the most important work of all. And here's something cool. While your shutter is physically being built, we're not just waiting around. We're already planning for installation day. We're lining up the delivery truck, making sure the install team can get in and out, checking that power is ready to go, all to make sure that when the day comes, it's smooth and efficient, no surprises. All right, the shutter is built, the planning is done, and that brings us to the grand finale, Phase 3, execution and integration. This is the exciting part. This is where you finally see all that behind-the-scenes work come to life right at your storefront. Installation day is like a carefully choreographed dance. It's all about precision. First up, the guide rails go in. They have to be perfectly straight. Then, the barrel and brackets are mounted up top. They're the workhorses holding all the weight. After that, we carefully feed the shutter curtain into the guides. Then, the hood goes on to protect the coil. And if it's motorized, we set the stopping points so it knows when to stop going up and down. But wait, we're not packing up our tools just yet. Step 8 is all about testing and adjustment. Before we call it a day, we run that shutter up and down over and over again. We're fine-tuning everything to make sure it's running like a dream. This is what ensures it lasts for years and years without problems. And we have a pretty serious checklist for this. We're watching for perfectly smooth operation. We're checking that the locks click into place exactly as they should. We're dialing in all the motor settings and safety features. We're even listening for any weird squeaks or rubs. Nothing gets past us. And now for the final and maybe most important step, the owner handoff. This is where we officially hand the keys over to you. But it's more than that. We're going to walk you through everything: how to open it, how to close it, what noises are normal. We'll make sure you know how everything works so you feel totally confident using your new system from the very first day. So, when you think about it, a security shutter isn't just a thing that gets installed. It's planned, it's engineered, it's built just for you, and then it's tuned on site. This whole 9-step journey is what turns a good idea into real, reliable security. It's how you get a system that you can count on day in and day out for years to come.